So in this class, we're going to be talking about ways to take title and also some of the things that you need to know really important about title. First and foremost, you are never, ever, ever to tell a client how to take title. It is a sincerely serious legal decision. A husband and wife may want to do joint tenancy. They might want to be tenancy in common. They may want to do joint tenants with right of survivorship. So if somebody passes away, the other one inherits property automatically. Every family is very unique. One person may not have papers and one is buying the house. There's issues with that. There may be two families buying a duplex together. You are never, ever to give title advice whatsoever, okay? That's rule number one. There will be a lot of title questions on the state exam, but you also need to you also need to understand that as a professional, you have to understand some of the ways to take title, because people will ask you, and your next statement will be, but you should talk to the family attorney before making a decision, okay? So there are several ways of holding title, willing title, and also selling title. One is a severalty or a sole owner. This could be a corporation, an LLC, or an individual like myself, okay? Or a trust, that's considered an entity. I can will it and I can sell it. I have sole rights to do whatever I want to do with the property. With a tenancy in common, I have the right, I just had a client do this, buy a property 50-50 with someone, and then later on come back and say, I want to sell my shares to another investor, I want to go do something else with my money, okay? And in this case, tenancy in common, yes, I can will my shares, and yes, I can sell my shares. Either way. So let's say that there's 100 people on one house, and they each have 1%. I can, when I pass away, have it in my will that it goes to a specific person, in my trust to a specific person, or I can choose to sell it to an outside investor, to someone else, okay? With joint tenancy, here's why you need to be careful if you tell people you do joint tenancy. The fact of the matter is, it takes precedence over the will. So if you have a joint tenancy with right of survivorship, one of them passes away, it doesn't matter what the will says, the title says that the other spouse gets the property or the other person gets the property, okay? And on joint tenancy, yes, when you have joint tenancy, they can decide to sell the property together. If you have a tenancy in partnership, think of a business relationship like an LLC, or several different people in the family are getting together and they're like putting money together to buy an investment property. It happens quite a bit, and they're wanting to take title and have like different shares. This would be a tenancy in partnership. You cannot will it and you cannot sell it. Why? Because you have to make a joint decision to either will it or sell it. The other thing is too, when you pass away, it goes to somebody else in the business, okay? Community property is another common with married couples. They have the right to will their shares of the property. So if mom dies, dad may not actually be the one that inherits in the will her shares. It could be one of their children, all their children, grandchildren, whatever the case could be. And with community property, you just can't outright just sell your shares. You can't just outright sell the property. You have to do it as a team, as a community property. And then finally, with community property right of survivorship, this actually works like joint tenancy with right of survivorship, in the sense that even though there is a will, it's not involved in the will. If there's a right of survivorship, whoever that right of survivorship goes to, usually it's a husband and wife. The husband passes away, it automatically goes to the wife on title, regardless of what his will says. The same thing goes here. You cannot sell the property or sell your shares. With community property, you have to, for the most part, understand that you're working as a team and you're making community decisions together, even though you left the property to each other afterwards. I'm going to pause it right here and bring up another slide I want to talk about.